Hello, I'm Karen Elgersma, and welcome to the first annual Seaweed Days Festival. We are here in beautiful Sydney by the Sea on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. Now, if you've never been to Vancouver Island, it is a huge island. In fact, it's about the same size geographically as England. And yes, we are surrounded by water, which means we're surrounded by seaweed. It's going to be an incredible week, and I'm so excited to be part of the opening ceremonies. We are going to start with some remarks from many government officials. We are so honored that so many people took time to be part of this opening ceremonies. We're going to start with Bill Collins, the chairman of Cascadia Seaweed, who's putting on this incredible event. Then the Honourable Bernadette Jordan, Federal Minister of Fisheries, Oceans and the Canada Coast Guard. The Honourable Lana Popham, Provincial Minister of Agriculture, Food and Fisheries. The Honourable Elizabeth May, Member of Parliament, Saanich-Gulf Islands. And the Honourable Adam Olsen, Member of the Legislative Assembly of Saanich North and the Islands.
Without the ocean, there is no life.
While Bill was developing business cases for Vancouver Island, he learned that seaweed was going to change the world. After an hour on the phone with one of Canada's most knowledgeable seaweed experts, Bill's entrepreneurial spirit was sparked, not because he needed a new project, but because of the positive social, environmental, and economic benefits this budding sector offered. Seaweed farming helps feed our growing populations, helps revitalize coastal communities, and reverses human impact on the oceans. Only 2% of our global food production comes from the ocean, but oceans cover 70% of our planet.
Seems like a no-brainer to me.
Hi, I'm Bill Collins, Chair of Cascadia Seaweed, the largest seaweed company in North America. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the inaugural Seaweed Days Festival. I'm speaking to you from Sydney by the Sea on Vancouver Island, in the traditional territories of the Saanich people. Each blade of seaweed can be an agent of change, bringing prosperity to coastal communities around the world. The purpose of Seaweed Days is to share inspirational and educational stories. We're here to talk about how we can all make a positive difference to the climate simply by inviting more seaweed into our lives. These 7 days of seaweed will bring you a wonderful lineup of industry speakers, culinary demonstrations from 7 Canadian chefs, science activities for kids, children's stories, artisans presentations, a seaweed farming workshop, and more. With our Indigenous partners, Cascadia is cultivating seaweed on the coast of British Columbia. We're very excited for the much anticipated launch of our own brand of nutritious and delicious human food products. Tune in this Thursday afternoon during Seaweed Days to participate in this exciting event. This is truly a global movement, and I'd like to thank everyone who has come together to bring Seaweed Days to life.
Hello everyone, I'm Bernadette Jordan, the Minister of Fisheries, Oceans and the Canadian Coast Guard. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that I'm joining you from my home in Mi'kma'ki, the traditional unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. With 3 oceans and nearly 250,000 kilometers of sprawling coastline, Canada is an ocean nation. Our ocean industries generate over $36 billion a year and employ over 300,000 Canadians. That's why we're exploring important investments that will spur growth and support those working in the ocean sector, while encouraging more people to get involved. I believe there are many exciting opportunities for the seaweed industry. Seaweed farming is creating a revenue for Indigenous communities, growing economies along our coasts, while helping to fight global climate change and maintaining valuable coastal ecosystem. It makes our waters healthier. We're in the early stages of developing a national blue economy strategy that will help grow Canada's marine sectors in ways that are economically prosperous, environmentally sustainable, socially responsible, inclusive, and equitable. Canada's Sustainable Blue Economy Strategy will guide our investments and actions on all 3 coasts and along ocean sectors while ensuring the protection of marine environment. Not only does seaweed act as a carbon sink, it can be used for food, provide our oceans with oxygen, and is home to many of our marine life. This sector has so much potential to create jobs for Canadians and grow Canada's blue economy while playing a key role in ensuring our oceans remain healthy. Since I can't be with you in person to commemorate Seaweed Days, I will close by wishing you all a wonderful week of celebration.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to join you virtually from the traditional territories of the Saanich peoples here on the Saanich Peninsula. I'm so excited to help kick off the 7 days of Seaweed Festival. Huge congratulations to Cascadia Seaweed for their leadership in hosting this international festival this week and for putting BC Seaweed on the world stage. Local businesses like Cascadia, Canadian Kelp Resources, Dakini Tidal Wilds, and Canadian Pacifico Seaweed are the heart of our coastal communities here in BC. They work to create products that are respected and enjoyed around the world while also strengthening BC's food system. The BC government is proud to support the growth of the marine plant industry in our province so businesses can expand and operate in a sustainable way. We all understand the enormous contribution that fish, seafood, and marine plants make to our economy and culture. In 2019, BC processed almost 490 tons of wild and farm marine algae and plants, including seaweed. This represented over $3.4 million in wholesale value. This rapidly growing industry is bringing new opportunities to coastal communities and First Nations, as well as providing environmental benefits. For example, our Canada-BC Agri-Innovation Program is funding a project that uses seaweed in cattle feed to help reduce methane emissions. If you ask the average British Columbian if they knew our province's coast is home to more than 600 species of marine plants, I'm sure they'd be surprised. They'd also be surprised by the different ways we can use these versatile plants. It's endless. In addition to being an amazing food source, aquatic plants can be used in herbal remedies, cosmetics, and in pharmaceuticals. Researchers are also using seaweed to develop plastic alternatives. And I'm sure we're going to be hearing more ideas on how to use seaweed and other marine plants during the festival this week. Our government recognizes the potential for expansion in BC, and we have been working closely with farms, harvesters, and processors to help realize its potential benefits. Many of you joining us today might be wondering how you can get involved in this growing industry. Our government is proud to help support a professional development workshop that will take place at the festival this week. It's here where you'll learn more about BC's seaweed industry and its potential. You'll be learning from industry leaders who are eager to pass along their expertise. I encourage everyone to check it out and look at the opportunities for growth in this sector. I'm sure some of you have visited communities like Campbell River, Sechelt, Port Hardy, and Prince Rupert. This is home for our incredible BC seafood workers. We all share a love and admiration of our marine environment. We appreciate it for its beauty, its role in our planet's health, and for the food it has provided us for thousands of years. And I'm sure with the success of this week's Seaweed Festival, we will see even more people become a part of this amazing sector. So congratulations, everyone. Enjoy your week, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to Seaweed Days. And I really want to thank Cascadia Seaweed for inviting me to help kick off an exciting program of events. And recognizing them, speaking to you from the traditional territory with Saanich Nation, Haishka Siam, particularly deep respect and gratitude to the Indigenous peoples of this place who have been so gracious and hospitable to all of us settler culture people. We are at a critical moment for humanity on this planet to realign our relationship with the natural world. Most of this planet is a blue planet. Most of our planet is oceans. And in recognizing the importance of oceans to our own future and to our children's future, it's good to actually understand the benefits of seaweed. We tend to overlook seaweed historically, although many cultures didn't. Many cultures recognized collecting seaweed and using it in agriculture was a great way to have richer soils. Many cultures understood, and many cultures still do, the importance of seaweed in our diet. We look at the traditional use by Indigenous peoples all around the world of seaweed, and we are rediscovering and learning from Indigenous peoples. And I know Cascadia Seaweed has a number of strong partnerships in looking forward. But seaweed is one of those things that, and one of those living things that does so much at so many different levels. Seaweed sequesters carbon. Seaweed provides food in the food chain of our oceans, but also for us as human beings. Seaweed has multiple other applications and represents a source of all kinds of products from what's now called the blue economy. We know that we can provide, through using seaweed, more biodiversity in our oceans, better protection for our fisheries, as well as all the benefits that I mentioned for carbon sequestration. Think about those kelp beds, all those sea otters that used to be up and down our coasts that wrapped themselves in the seaweed and bobbed along to have a nap. The ways in which our wonderful life of the oceans is integrally tied up in our seaweeds, the ways in which we can create a stronger economy and create wealth and jobs from seaweed is something that Canadian society is just learning about. So I'm very pleased to be able to kick off this first ever Seaweed Days. Thank all of the sponsors. It's fantastic to have so many community-minded groups, for-profit organizations and not-for-profit organizations pitching in. It's really an exciting time to imagine what's possible in protecting our oceans. Acting on the climate crisis is critical to protect our oceans from both higher levels of temperature and warmth, which is a threat to life along our coast, as well as higher levels of acidification, which is a threat to the life of the oceans, particularly to all manner of life forms that have to form shells, and know that acidification is a threat there. Again, seaweed helps. Seaweed helps pull carbon out of the atmosphere, and that's something that has been historically, I think, underrated as a life form that provides so many multiple benefits. I'll never forget sending my little girl to school with crunchy seaweed snacks in her lunchbox. I have to say that her friends were quite surprised as they ate their Cheetos that my daughter preferred her seaweed. But it's also very healthy, very good for us, very good as a component in feeding to livestock. As you probably have heard, if you're feeding ruminants with seaweed, you're reducing the methane emissions from, I won't say from what, but starts with an F and it ends with a T. So we need to make sure we figure out how to benefit in our own local economies and promote health in our oceans, stronger biodiversity, reduced carbon emissions, and more jobs and respect, deep respect for the Indigenous peoples from whom we can now learn much more about the benefits of seaweed. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Olsen. I'm a member of Sartlet Village, and honored to represent the beautiful Saanich territory as the member of the British Columbia Legislative Assembly for Saanich North and the Islands. As my late great-uncle Panach shared in his book, Saltwater People, the original name of our village site is Jisesing Set, meaning the people that are growing themselves up. The word Saanich means raised up. The Saanich are maritime people. Throughout our seasonal cycle, we moved around the Salish Sea, harvesting the bounty of the ocean. British Columbia has a grand coastline, and while the salmon fishery that produced tremendous wealth for our people has been decimated from years of mismanagement of land and water by successive crown governments, there is so much we can learn from our past, from the worldview of coastal people such as the Saanich. There are other opportunities for our coastal communities. In the next few days, you'll be looking at the potential of seaweed and kelp. When I think of the notion of the people who raised themselves up, or the uplifted land, they are values that are deeply ingrained in this territory. So, as we investigate ways that we can live and work our coastline like the countless generations before us, I appreciate the initiative of my friends at Cascadia Seaweed, who have been elevating seaweed and kelp and the very places my ancestors fished. It's in this spirit of innovation and creativity that I hope we continue to explore how we can interact with these life-sustaining ecosystems in a sustainable and regenerative relationship. Welcome to Seaweed Days. Thank you for participating, and I look forward to seeing you out on the water. Cascadia. Thank you.
The Vancouver Island Economic Alliance is all about achieving a vital and sustainable island region economy. We collaborate with stakeholders to solve problems and promote opportunities. Every October, VAIA hosts the State of the Island Economic Summit, a meeting place for ideas where you can network with decision makers and be informed of relevant grassroots trends in the island economy. VAIA's annual economic report is the only publication of its kind in Canada. It is user-friendly and puts important, timely data at your fingertips. Foreign Trade Zone Vancouver Island provides ready access to Canada's duty and tax deferral opportunities and attracts foreign direct investment to the island region. And the Island Good brand, created by VAIA, makes it easy for shoppers to find local products and is proven to increase sales for island producers. If it's Island Good, whether it's potatoes or gin or mattresses, it's good for our economy, good for sustainability, and good for us all. VAIA, a non-profit membership organization that leads creation of transformative economic opportunities.
I cannot believe that we have over 100 participants now. Welcome everyone. If you have just recently joined, welcome. I'm Karen Elgersma, your MC. We're having an amazing opening ceremonies here on beautiful Vancouver Island. I'd like to now introduce George Hansen. We're grateful to the team at Vancouver Island Economic Alliance who are sponsoring and hosting our industry speaker series during Seaweed Days. George is the president of the Vancouver Island Economic Development Alliance, and it's VIA as we are coming to know it. We love an acronym on Vancouver Island. They're a non-government, non-profit organization that embraces the economic interests, opportunities, and challenges of our region. In fact, the emergence of the seaweed industry on the BC coast is a direct result of a project to attract foreign direct investment to Vancouver Island, a project for which now Chairman of Cascadia Seaweed, Bill Collins, was a big part of. We're so grateful for the team at Vancouver Island Economic Alliance for helping us deliver the opening ceremony and the industry speaking series during Seaweed Days. And we are so pleased to have George share some opening remarks with you today.
Thank you, Karen, and good morning and good day to everyone. It is our distinct pleasure to be hosting the Seaweed Industry Speaker Series. We see the emerging seaweed industry here in the island region as a burgeoning commercial opportunity that will significantly contribute to transformation of our local economy. In 2018, as you indicated, Karen, with funding assistance from the Government of Canada and from the Island Coastal Economic Trust, VAIA produced 4 business cases to attract investment to the island region. One of these was a business case for seaweed aquaculture and led directly to the incorporation of Cascadia seaweed and to the creation of the Pacific Seaweed Growers Association. So you can see why the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance might be bullish about bulk kelp. And now with Canada's initiative to create a blue economy strategy, what could be more timely than a large-scale development of a new industry in our region that produces natural, nutritious, sustainable products that are carbon negative and enhancing of the marine environment, while creating jobs and opportunity for wealth generation for coastal First Nations, as well as rural and remote communities. We will be excited to see rapid expansion of seaweed tenures supported by progressive government facilitation and development of a host of seaweed products bound for domestic and foreign markets, all proudly branded as Island Good. This seaweed industry speaker series is bound to inspire, and make no mistake, we stand at the cusp of a truly transformational opportunity. Enjoy the festival.
Thank you so much, George. And thank you to the Vancouver Island Economic Alliance for really being not only a supporter of our speaker series and the festival, but just being such an advocate of this, of all things seaweed. It's incredible the work they are doing to support so many initiatives on the island, and such an honor to have all these incredible people be part of this first annual Seaweed Days.